step up is another step up variation that's also focusing on strengthening the lateral sling or single leg stability. With the lateral step up, I'm going to stand sideways to the box and my inside leg is going to step up onto the box. Now I want to rotate towards that front leg to bring me into more internal rotation, which is going to help to stabilize within the pelvic joint. So when we shift to a stance leg, that leg should come into more internal rotation. So if I think about these two being an angle, so it's forming a 90-degree angle in this neutral position, I want to decrease that angle by pushing my pelvis towards my femur. So I'm going from my 90-degree and I'm going to decrease it by closing the hip position when moving into my stance leg. So this is going to help to stabilize within the pelvis. So I'm going to rotate my upper body towards that front leg, almost like rotating the pelvis on top of the femur. And then from here, I'm going to load that leg, stand up. I can either bring my one foot onto the box, or if I want to make it more challenging, I could add a balance, which is going to heighten my center of mass and make this movement a little bit more challenging. And then from there, I'm going to step down, bring both feet, and then I could either stay here and then move on to the next rep, or I can advance it by moving into a side lunge. So I'm going to step out, I'm going to drop into that outside leg, push back up here. Another option to make it slightly easier if you wanted to add the lunge is I can keep the weight in this leg, step out, and then stand back up. So sometimes that one feels a little bit better in the pelvis. So the easier version will look like this. I'm going to put my foot onto the box. I'm going to rotate my pelvis towards that front leg so I have that internal rotation. Exhale to stand up. Now I'm facing forward with my hips. As I come down, I'm going to rotate towards that front leg and then step the foot down. My more advanced version, I'm going to put my foot onto the box, that internal rotation, rotate towards that front leg. Exhale to come up, balance. Inhale to lower down, again rotating towards that front leg. Step both feet down and then step out into my lunge, coming back here. So those are the two main variations that you can do with a step up. You can either add the advancement with the balance, or you can add both advancements with the balance and the side lunge. And you can also hold a weight as you do this. We're going to hold weight just on one side, either on the same side as the work leg or the opposite side as the work leg, which will have a different loading challenge. So it's just up to you to decide which one feels better for you in your body. Now, if we need to regress the step-up movement because single leg movements are kind of painful, the first thing that we can do is decrease overall movement. So instead of bringing this foot on and off the box, I'm just going to keep that foot on the box the entire time. So I'm reaching to rotate towards this front leg. I'm going to come up. I'm going to reach, rotate, come back down, and then I'm just going to keep this leg here to come back to the same. So I'm going to decrease my overall movement to increase my stability. The next thing that I can do is I can also decrease overall movement and add support. So I can hold on to something to use my upper body to pull me onto the surface. So I'm going to have my internal rotation. I'm going to grab onto my sturdy structure. You can either use a power rack or like a door frame. I'm going to exhale to pull myself up, so I'm incorporating my upper body, and then inhale to lower back down. In this variation, I'm still incorporating that internal rotation because that's bringing my pelvis into a more stable position for the stance. So sometimes reaching forward can be helpful, rotating towards that front leg, pull myself to come up, and then inhale to lower down. So those are some variations of the lateral step up that we can do. So the most advanced would be to step up, balance, step back down, and then out into my side lunge. Our standard variation would be to step up, so still have my internal rotation, stand onto the box, rotate as I lower down, and then step back. And if I needed to add some extra support, I could either keep this foot on the box the whole time, which is going to decrease overall movement, making it easier to stabilize, or I can hold on to something and add some extra support for the movement. So choose the variation that feels best for you, and then hopefully each week you can kind of advance each of the step-up movements.